Hi everyone, my name is Mary and I'm going to be doing my American Cultural History micro-teach on the Broadway play and motion picture musical Hair. This was an era in American cultural history where the winds of change had descended upon the youth culture of America, and it created this rejection of apple pie, mom, and the flag, and started to embrace things like free love, panhandling, drugs, and just the overall general rebellion against everything and every social norm created. And it created this gigantic valley between us and them, us being the American youth of that time, and the them being our parents, our authority figures, political figures, just anyone that we thought that was wrong. This musical was first performed on stage in 1969 and became a motion picture in 1979. It was directed by Miloshi Forman. It was written by Rigoni and McDermott, and it contained 3 stars: Beverly D'Angelo, Treat Williams, and John Savage. This is a story about Claude, who's a farm boy from Oklahoma, and he travels to New York to spend 2 days in New York City before he reports for the army. He befriends 4 hippies led by Burger, played by Treat Williams, and this group of hippies show Claude the side of society that Claude never would have seen on the farm in Oklahoma. They showed him the rampant drug use by giving him LSD. They showed him the free love by one of their friends in this little group not knowing who the father of her baby is. And they showed him the nomadic lifestyle that they lead by sleeping in the park, by panhandling, taking baths in the lake and in the fountain, and all this stuff. And he ends up getting arrested by crashing a high society party because these two cultures just do not mix. This hippie culture and this high society culture just did not mix at all at that time. In the end, the good-hearted Burger thought he was doing a good thing by trading places with Claude while he was still on base before being deployed, so that he can, get off base and, have a little time with his friends and with the girl that he has fallen in love with. Unfortunately, while Claude was off, reuniting with his girl and his friends, Burger, who has taken his place, ended up getting deployed, ended up having to go to Vietnam, and ended up dying over there. In this particular scene in the movie, Burger and his friends crash a high society party. And no matter the time period, there will always be those people who will openly accept people with differences as they find them. Like the picture just, shows. And then on the other hand, there are those people who respond in shock, when the hippies crash their high society party. Those are the people that we see who, when they see differences, whether it's the way we dress, long hair, etc., just see danger. Another cultural theme that was portrayed in this movie was the overall disdain and non-support for the Vietnam War. This was shown in the way that they protested, the demonstrations that they had. This included the protests, and the killing in Kent State was during this time. They held sit-ins, they held draft card burnings, where men would gather around a big fire and just burn their draft cards. And despite the penalties, men moved from the United States to Canada to avoid the draft. So this was a big thing during that time as well. Ayer's portrayal of this difficult time in American history reminds us that even though culture is static and ever-changing, there are certain aspects that remain fixed as our social identities and our culture identities that define us all as Americans. Thanks for watching.